All right, good morning. Good morning, members and friends of the Church of the Angels. The church is an independent, non-denominational, interfaith spiritualist assembly, and all who enter here are valued for their unique qualities. My name is Rev Jenni Vinecourt, and I am your facilitator today. We'll spend about an hour together today with some prayer and sharing and song. A few things as we get started. You can join us, as most of you know, with just your audio if you choose, because the entire service is being recorded so that we can share it with more people. But the only person that shows up on the recording is the one who's speaking. So if you don't want to show up on the recording and you have something to say later, just use your audio, and that way if you don't want your face on the recording, you've got it. Okay, I also ask that everybody keep themselves muted throughout the duration of the service, except when we are looking for questions or comments after the sharing portion. And if you want to be called on after the sharing portion of the service to bring up one of those comments or questions, either raise your hand by using the reaction button, maybe throwing me a chat, or waving your hands frantically like this so that I can see that you have something to say. Okay, I want to also mention that if you choose to make a donation, you can do so through the website. There is a specific donation page on the website, and you'll have an opportunity at that time to make that donation a recurring one if you choose. And a huge thank you to all of those who have already donated and who continue to do so to help keep us going throughout this time. All right, an opening prayer. Please join me. Mother, Father, Infinite Spirit, thank you for your blessings on all those joining us today to honor your work and experience your grace and wisdom. Thank you for providing the appropriate thoughts, insights, actions, and all resources for us to gain a better and truer understanding of your love by the words spoken, the healing brought forth here today, so that we may lead healthy, happy, and prosperous lives. Thank you for showing us the way to accept responsibility for our lives, and we are grateful to know that you are with us always. So be it. And if you so choose, please join me in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you. And now I've asked Anne Marie Grossman to read our statement of principles for us. Thank you, Anne Marie.
Thank you. There is one creative force of which all life is a part. This one creative force is known by many names and manifestations. We recognize and honor the many names and manifestations of the one creative force, the source of all creation, one in God. The energy of life everywhere is continuous. All consciousness is continuous. Communication is continuous. The energy of life, consciousness, and communication never cease, even after the event that is perceived as death. One creates one's own reality. One creates in harmony with the one creative force, the great power of God, of which all life is a part. Reality is as one chooses to perceive and will change as one grows in knowledge of the inner self and one's relationship with the God of his understanding. All things are possible with faith, insight, knowledge, understanding, acceptance, and love. Love is the unifying energy of the universe. Love is the energy of the one creative force, the wisdom of God. All life and all mankind are one in the creatorship and healing force of love and with each other. Love is within us and of us. Love is never apart from us. It is we who separate ourselves from the power of love. The force of God works through love and love alone.
Thank you, Anne Marie. And now we'll have a few moments of quiet meditation so that we can concentrate on going within to find some peace and calm and healing for ourselves and for the world. Bobby, do you have some meditative music for us this morning?
I'll make something happen.
All right, thank you. Take your time. Concentrate on your breathing. Come back to the present. But while in this healing space, please add silently or aloud the names of those you wish to include in this healing energy. Thank you. And please remember that we are always connected to the divine. Use this peace and calm to take care of yourselves and all those around you in your communities and throughout the entire world in whatever way that you can. Thank you. All right, Bobby, do you have something to uplift us a bit here?
Oh, I got something that'll raise the vibration here for sure.
I'm a little afraid, Bobby, but go ahead.
I've always appreciated a great challenge, and so when you texted me what the topic was today, Jen, well, I couldn't resist. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I woke up in the Soho bar when a policeman knew my name. He said he'd get to sleep at night when he could get up and walk away. I staggered back in the underground and a breeze threw back my hair. I remember throwing punches around and preaching from my chair. Oh, who are you? Who? I really want to know. Who are you? Who? Oh, tell me, who are you? Are you? Who? 'Cause I really want to know. Who? I took the tube back out of town, back to the rolling pin. I felt a little like dying clown with a streak of Rin Tin Tin. I stretched back and I hiccuped and looked back my busy day. 11 hours in the tin pan, God, there's got to be another way. Well, who are you? Are you? Well, who are you? Are you? Come on, tell me, who are you? Are you? Well, who the hell are you? Are you? Whoa! I know there's a place that you walk, love falls from the trees. My heart is like a broken cup, I don't feel it in my knees. I spit out like a sewer hole, yet I still receive your kiss. How can I measure up to anyone now after such a love like this? Well, who are you? Are you? Who? Come on, tell me, who are you? Are you? Who? I really want to know. Are you? Who? Come on to you. Are you? Who? I really want to know. I really want to know. Come on, tell me, who
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you muchly. All right, it's now time for some inspiration and thought exchange brought to us by today's speaker. We do invite everyone to address this assembly with words of inspiration, lessons learned, or passionate ideas. And today the speaker is me. I think all of you know me, so I'm going to not do the bio. But if you have any questions about me, I was going to say ask just about anybody else on this screen today. But the topic of today, as you might have guessed, is who are you? And this is a repeat of a talk that I've did. Gosh, it's probably been over a year. So if it's a repeat for you, maybe I apologize, and maybe we need to hear it again. So I'm not sure. I know that I need to hear it again, which is why we're doing it. So as I was thinking about and preparing for the talk, the more important question for me that came up was, who am I not? I've talked here a lot at church about my belief that we are one with the divine. We are co-creators with the God of our understanding, and that we are not separate from that which we call God. But the past couple of months, and that was back then, and this is even more so now for me, I've looked at that from the opposite angle, and I want to share that with you. Many of you know that I live with several medical diagnoses. I don't want to dwell on them here so as not to give them more power. But yet, lately I've been reminded of some of the effects of them. In the past few months, and more recently the past couple of weeks, I've dealt with some extreme fatigue, debilitating pain sometimes, skin issues, digestive calamities, immune system fiascos, and so on, depression, anxiety, many of these things that many of us are seeing in ourselves living in this quote unquote COVID world. And even after a short time of living with some of those, it's sometimes hard to remember how blessed I am, and to remember that I am not those ailments. For whatever reason that I at this time don't recall, I decided to take on all of this for a higher purpose. And maybe part of that purpose is just to remember that I am not these illnesses. I am not these things. As a matter of fact, I am not this body. I am not this body. I'm only using it for a time. All the things that go with it are just being used for a time. I am not my experiences. I am not the clothes I wear or the items I possess. I am not my perceived problems. I am not my depression, my anxiety, none of that. The sacred Hindu text, the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 2, verses 19 through 21 says, excuse me, I have to let somebody in the room. Okay. One man believes he is the slayer, another believes he is the slain. Both are ignorant. There is neither a slayer nor slain. You were never born, you will never die. You have never changed, you can never change. Unborn, eternal, immutable, immemorial, you do not die when the body dies. Realizing that which is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and unchanging, how can you slay or cause another to slay? And that was from the Bhagavad Gita. We are not this illusion of what we think we are. The following is from an article found on the website called Krishna.com. And it says, realization of you're not this body takes place in stages. To begin with, one at least understands on the intellectual level that I, the soul, am different than the body. The body dies, the soul is eternal. We see, even as we mature, that the body goes through changes. Oh boy, do we. Yet we, the soul, remember those different bodies in retrospect as mine. When the soul leaves the body is easily determined to be just a lump of matter. However, the body is our vehicle with which we have to execute our activities in this life. We are responsible for executing our activities in this life. We are the caretakers of this vehicle. Even though this body is not mine, I am still using it for a time and therefore dealing with its inadequacies at times. In the Bhagavad Gita again, Sri Krishna points out that all of our miseries are due to the false identification with the body. Another difficulty that I sometimes see in my life and in those around me sometimes is that of wishing for what we don't have instead of being grateful for what we do have. So why do we worry about our station in life? Why are we concerned with what we have or don't have? I personally need more practice in being content, happy, and grateful for the blessings I do have. In the Bible, New Testament translation by George Lambza, Matthew 6:28-29. Why do you worry about clothing? Observe the wildflowers, how they grow. They don't get tired out, nor do they spin. But I can say to you that not even Solomon, with all of his glory, was covered like one of them. We are not this illusion of what we think we are or what we think we need to be. And when it feels as if I'm really going through the muck, I also need to practice no self-condemnation. Really need to practice that. I don't know about you, but sometimes I sink into the what did I do wrong rabbit hole. And if I'd been more spiritual, or if I'd done more praying, maybe I wouldn't be feeling this much pain or this much depression. Just because we're going through some things does not mean we are given the right to condemn ourselves. Self-condemnation is the act of self-blaming, and blaming ourselves is not a way to make our situation any better. It will only make us feel worse. And from the Message Bible version, 1 John chapter 3, verses 18-20. My dear children, let's not just talk about love, let's practice real love. This is the only way we'll know we're truly living in God's reality. It's also the way to shut down debilitating self-criticism, even when there's something to it. For God is greater than our worried hearts and knows more about us than we do ourselves. We hear an awful lot about loving others, but in this verse, I also think that it speaks heavily about loving oneself. Do not self-condemn, but go easy on yourself. No blame, no hate, no anger. God is greater than our worried hearts. And if we are one with God, this just reminds me that my worried heart is only part of my perception of the illusion of this body, this pain, these conditions, any of that. God, Goddess, all that is, already knows and has the plan. And I, being one with all that is, at some level, I am also aware of that plan. My humanness may not always remember, but my true self is aware. I think often I get into trouble when my human brain tries to figure it all out. When I think I know what's going on, when I think I know what I'm doing and what the next step is. And I know you've heard this before. It's an old Yiddish proverb that says, man plans and God laughs. Now, some have interpreted this to mean that God is joyfully waiting for you to fail. And that's not it. That he's a horrible being that chuckles at the mere human who was trying to figure it all out. But I see it like it is. No, I see it like this, in my truth. I found that this explanation in an article online, and I really liked it, this explanation of it. Number one, we plan with innocence, much like how we chuckle to ourselves when kids tell us what they want to be when they grow up. God laughs because we make plans, but ends up changing our minds or changing our priorities down the road. It's just because we don't have much life experience or can't anticipate what life throws at us. Number two, we plan with pride. This scenario involves us making a plan because we think we know more than God does. We make a plan with the assumption that we're correct. However, since God knows more than we do about ourselves and our choices, then he laughs at our arrogance. Number three, we plan with futility. This viewpoint has God laughing because we are inherently trapped. Thus, we make plans with no ability to see them come true. This scenario can be likened to a rat in a maze, perhaps with no way to exit. The rat can make a plan, or scurry all he wants, but in the end, he cannot ultimately determine the course of his own existence. Personally, the we plan, humans plan and God laughs, this phrase, I see this phrase as God being good-humored and laughs with us as we try our best to negotiate the rocky terrain that is life. And this year has been some rocky terrain. In the Quran, chapter 8, verses 30, it says, or verse 30, excuse me, it says, but they plan and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. So who am I? Who are you? When I am in my truth of being, when I know that I am not this body, when I know that I am not this pain or this discomfort or this depression or this anxiety about world events or what's going on in the next room, then I know who I am. I am one with God. I am content in knowing that I am eternal. I am extremely blessed with a roof over my head, loved ones, friends, and countless things to be grateful for. I hope that you can find these blessings in your life as well. They are there, and there are numerous ways for you to see them when you're in doubt. Journaling, meditation, prayer, etc. When you begin to look for the blessings, you will find them everywhere. The Buddhist scriptures are called the Tripitaka, I think. I have no idea. In English, it means 3 baskets. And within one of its books, you'll find this verse: my hut is roofed, comfortable, free of drafts, my mind well centered, set free. I remain ardent, so reign, diva. Go ahead and reign. And this says to me, when I'm in a place of gratitude and centered in my knowing of who I am, I can weather any storm. My storm lately has both been physical and emotional. But as long as I truly know who I am, go ahead and reign, diva. And to end with, this is from the book Happier Than God, Neil Donald Walsh, excuse me. And I want to read just a page of this that seems to connect in with the talk today. Just as God is not limited in terms of power, so is God not limited in terms of size. God is, as noted, ubiquitous. God is everywhere, and that means there is no place that God is not. No place. This idea is theologically revolutionary. It announces God's ever-present reality in and as part of all things, including you. Many people believe that God is everywhere, but do not believe that God resides inside of them. They may say this out of humility, but actually it is the height of arrogance to imagine that God exists everywhere in the universe except you. That would make your body, mind, and soul pretty exclusive real estate. If we accept, on the other hand, what even traditional religions say, that God is in the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the all in all, then we must necessarily, conclude that God exists in us. And this is a big conclusion because if it is accurate, and it is, we come upon a most intriguing and significant inquiry. Where in us does God exist? In our little finger, in our big toe, in our brain, in our heart, in our soul? The answer is, if God really is the all in all, the Alpha and the Omega, then there can be nowhere that God is not. In fact, there is nowhere in anything that God is not. God is everywhere and is made manifest in everything. And this brings us back to the unspoken truth. If God is everywhere in you, if there is nowhere in you that God is not, then God is you and everything else. And once you understand this, you cannot imagine that life is about you ever again. Not in the sense of you having to be or do or have anything in particular in order to be happy. Not in the sense of you needing anything or requiring anything in order to survive. Living in this truth makes it extremely difficult to get caught up in the minor daily dramas of life as it is currently lived by most people on the earth. and provides a fresh perspective on the really major tragedies, and turmoil of our species. And with that, I want to say again, go ahead and reign, Diva, because I have it within me. And I want to open this for comments and questions. Thank you. All right. Oh, Judy Naren's got her hands waving frantically. Go ahead, Judy. Heavens to Murgatroyd. No, Judy, what do you have to say?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's like, are you living in my head? Thank you. So I have a few things. Oh God, that was so beautiful. It just really helped open up my heart and my spirit. And God is so I have a few things I'd like to share that are right in line with you. It's like you were just speaking through me, to me, in every way. God is the greatest comedian playing to an audience who's afraid to laugh. It's my favorite saying, right? Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to share that I found really helpful, because I kept getting trapped in identification, and my tools I couldn't surrender to any of my tools, you know? And ironically, I heard it in two different places. So within a day of each other, 2 days, there was a study done at Michigan and Columbia, and they found when people use the third person, like, oh, Judy did that again, instead of I did that again, or oh, Judy's da 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 da, I da 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 da. And that fits in. And they found that when people did that used that technique, we used to think people that did that were a little crazy or off or something like that, weird. But I'm weird, so that's okay. But they found that it lowered the stress levels. It opened up their brain, relaxed their whole system. They found it was really powerful in how people were able to function and perform, and lower depression. So I thought I'd share that technique because I've been playing with it, right?
Thank you.
And then I would just mention, so I thank you so much. And I'll just mention one other thing. And I don't know if this is the place for it or not, but I found it helpful in Netflix, because sometimes our brains are so good that they hang on, they get bored and they want something, different, right? Well, and Netflix has a docuseries called Headspace, and it's by a Buddhist monk who talks about meditation, and each episode has a really good meditation in it. And it takes you through that process. And sometimes that's what I need, something that will guide me, and it's a little different approach. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Judy. Thank you so much. Anybody else? Reverend Carol, did you have something to say, or is he pushing buttons again? There you go. Go ahead, Reverend Carol.
No. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Wanted to say, I extremely love your talk today, especially when we go that deep, because I really think it is important for us to examine that connection to spirit. And it was something that I woke up with on my mind. So, okay, you put it there. But in going back and looking at the journey, I always look at the fact that we have only so many emotions we can experience while we're here in existence as spirit. And I think that spirit gives us the opportunity to experience a whole realm of things. So even though we go through things that we perceive as dark, it's necessary, I think, for the soul to have that experience and understand that we have the choice of at any moment honoring it, accepting it, and then moving on from it. But sometimes we don't know how to relate to others if we hadn't have had that experience. So as someone in your position, as we all are here, healers and helpers and white lighters, sometimes I think we go through things so that we have the capabilities to be able to relate to other people and help them on their journey as well as helping ourselves for being the student and the teacher. If that makes sense. But I also feel that it's awesome to really go that deep and not be upset about it or depressed about it, but understand that Spirit gave you the intelligence to do that. That so many people are not at that level just yet in their journey, but I'm sure and I always want to help them to get there. So I hope that makes sense.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right, I've got several messages in chat, but yes, Bobby, did you want to say something?
Yes. So I am going to agree with a lot of that stuff. However, one of the things that I am going to do is I am going to go through every feeling. So again, I can share that feeling with other people and be able to be part of the one consciousness, the one breath. So I'm not going to repress the anger. I'm not going to repress the, it's all la-di-da. No, it's all good. Bullshit. I didn't finish that. But I am going to accept the ability and the chance to feel the entire thing. I want to feel the entire thing. I don't want to repress it because it's going to come out somewhere else in some other form or fashion. So I'm not going to, I will acknowledge it. I will, and it may take me a while to acknowledge it. It's not easy all the time, and it's not supposed to be easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy. But I am going to, I'll dive into each one of those feelings and accept them and grow from them. That's my personal thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Bobby. And yeah, I would want to add also that just because I know these things and I know these things that I talk about in the talk doesn't mean I don't experience those range of emotions, you know, that I haven't gone through them as well. Yes, thank you. All right, Shannon Williams.
Muted. There we go. Can
There
everybody?
you go.
Hi, everybody. I haven't seen everybody in so long. It's been 3 months since I've been on here, and I took a nurse contract job in a hospital COVID unit, and I'm trying to recoup from that. And so this talk is perfect. The message you gave today, Reverend Jenni, was perfect because I went in humbled and I came out even more humbled. And I'm not the same person. And I have to add to Bobby about what Bobby's saying. You know, I saw sides of myself come out while on the nursing floor, the things I've never said before, triggered by anger, frustration, fear. I don't cuss, and I cussed because those were ways I could deal in the moment. And I was praying that my patients weren't hearing the cussing. And we go into the med room, and us nurses, that was our meeting group. That was our area where we just vented.
Yeah.
And it was just an experience where I came out of it, and I'm so appreciative of what I do have, and that I still have my life, that I'm breathing and I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do and be with my family. But getting a little emotional over this because I saw a lot in 3 months, and I don't think I'll ever be the same. But I'm very thankful for what I have. And your talk, the gratitude, I have much gratitude. And it was an experience that I look back and I laugh. I wasn't laughing during the experience. But yeah, I said things, colorful words. I had arguments with doctors. I've never done that before in my life. And it was all for good. You know, I'm trying to save my patients and their lives. But anyway, I want to add to that because life is precious and I have a lot of gratitude and I'm much more humbled than I ever have been. And I've been in nursing for 25 plus years, and I've never seen anything like this. But I'm out of it. I'm recouping. I'm healing. I just want to add to that because I really appreciate everything you said today. I could really connect with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you so much. We have time for just another couple. If anybody is, Tanda, I see you. Barbara, you'll be next.
Okay. First of all, Shannon, thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
And Reverend Jenni, thank you very timely for me. I view it a little differently, maybe or maybe not. I do, it's really come home the last few days. My next door neighbor adjacent to my property, and I live in a neighborhood where most of us have 2 to 3 acres, and there's a lot of beautiful old trees and attention to preserving green space. And my neighbor chose to log his property, which has just totally changed everything. And a lot of trees that are over 100 years old are now lined up by the street and affecting my property. And it was such a loss on top of everything else. It just felt like a lot. And my meditations, I'm aware that I have this human body and responsible. And part of me having this human body is that I do feel everything. And I do have physical characteristics that come out in all different kinds of ways as a result of having this kind of assignment, if you will, for lack of another word. But being able through meditation to separate myself to be the viewer of the experience and continue to ask for guidance in handling that for the highest possible good has created some wonderful experiences and guidance. And it's just something I have to keep working at. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Tanda. Thank you so much. And Reverend Barbara?
Yes, thank you, Reverend Jenni. It was wonderful. And it brought up some things that may seem a bit oblique contrasted with everyone else's sharing. But as Tanda was talking about the place next door with all the trees gone, I have in the past, not very recently, but experienced that too. It's not just, a loss of 100-year-old tree. It really does change the energy when that tree is not there. And I think that's one of the things you were saying, but you weren't quite saying is, you, Reverend Jenni, are going through quite a lot physically because you are feeling so much. And it's said that many of us are going through 20, 30 lives in this one life, trying to get rid of as much as we can. And yeah, it's a whole lot for sure. And it is hard to remember who we really are when all this physical stuff, whether it's the trees or actual physical anomalies going on with us, are happening. Ken Carey had a wonderful end in The Return of the Bird Tribes, talking about when we were all sitting up there in heaven before we came down, arm wrestling with each other. I get to go, no, I get to go, And I really love remembering that when I get kind of caught in the snare of some little trouble. Yes, I feel the emotion. Yes, I let it play out. But there's always this, now remember, you asked for this. No matter what it is, I asked for that. And years ago, like the 70s or something, I knew this time was coming when we would move into peace. And I always wondered, well, how is it that the world is going to totally change, And here we are. And I never expected that where we are right now was the way we would move into this. But that's where we are. And this is how it is happening. We haven't found out everything yet, but it is interesting what we know and now what is happening that since we are experiencing it. And I thought it was a great reminder for you to talk about this right now. I thought it was wonderful. So thank you very much. You who are not a body, you are free. You are as God created you.
Thank you, Reverend Barbara. Thank you so much. All right. I think that time-wise, we're going to stop that. But if anybody has any further comments or has any questions, please, I'm going to put my personal email in the chat box and you can get to me there. Okay. All right. So some announcements. Tuesday is our board meeting. Wednesday is our virtual meditation at 7 o'clock. Thursday is a busy week. Thursday is our evening thought exchange at 7 o'clock. Friday, past life reading event. I believe that starts at 7 as well. And next Sunday, our speaker is Patrice Cheyenne. And in the afternoon, next Sunday at 1 o'clock, is an advanced mediumship class with Reverend Ann Bartlett. And that we request that you have about a year of previous development or some practice before attending that class. But the information on those and how to get in are both on the website and on the Facebook page. Are there any announcements from the floor? Do we have any quick announcements? Women's Book Club this Monday? Patrice? I thought it was last Monday. Okay, Patrice, you're gonna have to talk. I see her in chat, but hang on a minute. Let me find Patrice. There she is. Patrice, are you sure it's this Monday? I thought it was last Monday, my dear. Or it is the first Monday of each month, as far as I know, unless we're doing something different. Yep, February 1st. That was it. Thank you, Patrice. Thank you so much. All right. And if I have missed anybody, unmute yourself and interrupt me. Judy Nairn, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, we did the essential oils Saturday and we had just a great turnout. And
Good.
next, thank you, Reverend Jenny. And next Saturday we have we're doing a Zoom with a wonderful healer. He really has helped some people I know tremendously. So that's going to be Saturday at 2. So if anybody's interested, I'll just put my email in a chat.
Okay.
And just email me and I'll be glad to send you the invite.
All right. Awesome.
Thank
Thank you so much. And I think that now we will move into a little bit of message work. As spiritualists, we believe that the energy of all beings is forever linked and that all of us have direct access to the love and guidance of loved ones, guides, teachers, saints, and angels on the other side of life. We do have some mediums here who have joined us today who have agreed to be of service and connect up with Spirit to bring forth a few messages for us. And let me see here. Reverend Cindy, are you so inspired today? Reverend Cindy Hudson. Okay, how about Anne Marie? How about you?
Here she is. Here she
There
is.
she is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anne Marie would be great, and then I'll help out if you need, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. Anne Marie, would you start us off? Just with one or two. That'll be fine.
Okay, sorry, not prepared here.
Okay.
Let me see what.
That's great practice. You're not supposed to be
Oh.
prepared.
You always do this to me. Let me see who resonates with me. Fran Rubenstein, may I come to you? Do we get a response? I don't know.
I haven't seen a response yet. Fran Rubenstein, are you there? Nope, I'm gonna say move on, Anne Marie.
Oh, she just did a chat saying.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay. So we may have to do it through
Okay.
chat. As I touch in with you, I'm seeing a lot of sunshine. This is from Spirit. They're just showing just so much love and sunshine, that it's a reminder to you that better days are coming. That you're surrounded by a lot of support. You're surrounded by a lot of love. And just to take that if in the days where we do, the few times that we do get sunshine in Cleveland, just to embrace that and just know that that is a reminder that you have so many people in the universe that are surrounding you with love and light. I need to leave that with Spirit's blessing. Let me see if I have anybody else. Bobby, may I come to you? Yes. Okay. He says, come to me. This is another message from Spirit. They are just giving lots of laughter, and they're showing like both ways. You are giving a lot of laughter to other people, a lot of joy, and they're saying, just keep it up. You are the light to a lot of people. And in this time, we need so much laughter and joy. And they're there to inspire you. So if you see some things, yeah, there you go. There's your light. If you see something that seems a little funny, share it with others, because we all need that light. I leave that with Spirit's blessing. Thank you for allowing me to serve.
Thank you. Good job, Anne Marie. Thank you so much. Reverend Cindy Hudson.
Hey, all right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Lori Williams, would you like a message this morning? Okay, I see a head nod, so I will move ahead. Lori, there's a few things going on with you this morning as I connect in with your energy. One of them is your dad touching in, and he's saying, this is kind of a metaphor, but he's saying he wore his tie straight. In other words, he's given me the impression that he was pretty much, you cross every T, you dot every I, you're pretty straight-laced, and you follow the rules. And he's saying that what you're open to and what you're learning and what you're doing isn't quite the way he would have anticipated you as an adult, but he's really proud of the things that you're doing. He's proud of the understandings that you have, of the learnings that you have, because that wasn't part of his toolbox, I guess is the word I'll use. So that he is applauding that you're learning and growing. And actually there's a series of elder women behind you. I don't know that it's grandmother energy in the sense of the tribal grandmothers, not biological grandmothers, but tribal grandmothers or crones. But I do feel like there's an ancient divine feminine wisdom well behind you, and that you can tap into that resource for healing, for guidance, for the energy that you share. And they want you to use that energy. They want you to avail yourself to that. So as you learn and as you grow, look into that ancient divine feminine energy and wear it, they're saying, okay? Then leave that with Spirit's blessings, Lori. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for me this morning, Reverend Jenny. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Patrice, I see that you're unmuted. Do you have a message to give today? Oh, she's gone again. All right, that's okay. That's all right. Shannon Williams, I know I'm putting you on the spot. Are you so inspired today or not? Just one or two. Nope, not today. Okay. All right. Reverend Barbara. Yes.
Yes, I have. Well, I guess I do have two.
Okay.
Lydia, could I come to you? Yes. Okay. You know who's wanting to talk to you. There are a whole bunch of them around you. And are you at home now or are you in
No.
California?
I'm in Texas.
Texas.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know. There's some spot they're saying that you know, and I'm not sure whether it's in Texas or whether it's at home here. But anyway, wow, there must be 15 or 16 fairies here. And they're all kind of like stamping, saying, come to the spot. You know where it is. Now, I don't know whether you consciously know where it is, but it's somewhere on this property. And if you don't know, Barbara's suggestion would be just walk outside and allow yourself to be drawn to it. But and they are expecting you to be there. And this sounds like every day. I just asked for a month, and then I saw trees going into leaf. So that sounds like April, May. So it sounds as if this is, 2 or 3 months anyway. And they're saying, you know the spot and pick a time and then be there like every day. And there's there's sort of this foot stomping. We have a lot to talk about and a lot that they want to share with you. And they're really adorably cute. They probably won't like that, but really, they want to talk with you. So my suggestion would be find your spot wherever you are. Now, since you are in Texas, maybe if you come back here in a couple weeks, they expect you to do it here too. I just get this daily connection is important until the leaves come out. And I leave that with you as Spirit's blessing.
Thank you.
And who was the other one? Jan. Oh, there she is. Jan Nay, would you like a message? Yes? Okay. Jan, it's a gentleman about 3 generations back on your paternal side, your father's side. And he's showing me digging up a plant, a fairly large plant, but I don't think it's about, well, it may be about being a plant too. I think it's about digging something up within you. And he's putting the plant aside and then putting something else that's a beautiful flowering plant in there instead. Now, it may be also about plants. Mars just went into Taurus. It wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility. But the sense I get with what he's showing me is to remove something that you don't need anymore and put in something into you, the you that you know you are, that is very beautiful, very spiritual, very not ephemeral, definitely eternal. Choose wisely and choose beauty and choose spirituality to replace whatever you're digging out, whatever you can afford to remove from your consciousness. Yes, that's the message he wants you to have. I leave that with you with peace and light. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Jenny, for letting me serve.
Thank you, Reverend Barbara. And thank everybody for your kind attention today. Thank you to all participants and mediums, and especially to Spirit and the God of your understanding for being with us today and always, and being within us as we know. For those who may be new with us today, you can learn more about the Church of the Angels at our website, www.thechurchoftheangels.net. or you can email us at thechurchoftheangels@gmail.com. If anybody wants to reach me personally, I did put my personal email in the chat box today. And now we'll enjoy another song from Reverend Bobby, and then remain with us, please, for our closing prayer. Bobby, what have you got for us?
I got, oh, with the weather going nicer and nicer, I feel like gardening, right? I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, Spirit divine discloses. And he walks with me and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. She speaks and the sound of her voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that she gave to me is in my heart, and it's ringing, ting-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and she walks with me and she talks with me, and she tells me I am her own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with them, though the night around me be falling, but she bids me go to the voice of woe. The voice to me is calling. Hey, Bobby, oh, he walks with me and they talk with me and they tell me I am their own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. Oh, yeah.
In closing, thank you, Bobby. In closing, let us pray. Infinite Spirit, Mother, Father, God, as we move forward, we thank you in advance for the guidance and resources you always provide for us to live the fullest expression of your love. We pray for all those affected by the circumstances throughout our world at this time, and may we be reminded of the opportunities to reconnect in love to all those around the world, to Mother Earth and the universe. Amen.